When I first got into the record business, we were selling Sweet Baby James at $4.98, but if you wanted it in stereo, it was $5.98. At ABC Records, I remember Steely Dan, Asia, came out at $7.98. And we gave everybody a period of time where they could buy it at $7.98 because the price shortly after the release was going to go to $8.98. I remember when cassette was an alien concept and everybody was buying 8-tracks. And this will date me. I can still remember where in Agata da Vida in the drum solo, you switched from one track to another on the 8-track. And then all of a sudden, 8-tracks were taken over by cassettes. And it was cassettes and albums. And then CDs came along and, albums started to go away. And then singles went away, which personally I think the death of the single really hurt the record business. You're being asked to pay $18 for an album where you only know one song. It's a leap of faith. You could buy a single and get a song that you knew you liked and another song from that album on the other side, which might lead you to better understand what the group was and where they were musically. And it opened up a lot of doors. There's a man who has a chain of stores. His name is Bob Higgins, who has always maintained that the death of the single was, really hurt the record business. And he was brilliant in that insight because it allowed people to really come to grips with and understand who a group was before they made the commitment. And again, all this downloading, it's because people want to buy what they want to hear. To a great extent, I think one of the things that's really hurt the business is the people who run the companies are passionate about the money. When I got into the business 30 some odd years ago, we were passionate about the music. We loved it. We could pick up an album and you pick up a Buffalo Springfield again and you look at the list of names on the back, you can identify 25 to 50% of the names on the back. There was a passion about where the groups came from and how they evolved. That passion isn't there to the same extent now as it was then. There were personalities in the business who really stood for something. There are still personalities, but they're hit makers. They build groups, and there's not necessarily depth. For better or for worse, think about the stuff that really drives people. Cadillac, there's been a resurgence in the sales of Cadillac to a great extent because they've changed the design, but what music is laid behind the Cadillac ads? It's Zeppelin. Apple used Stones, Start Me Up. That music's compelling, and it's compelling to a certain segment of the market, and it holds up.